So that's a good thing. So one of the things I want to talk about is our last day, which will
Mr.
be
Haley?
this Thursday. And one thing I like to do is do a quick little vote here for everybody that is online. You guys get to decide for the class. Uh, People who haven't popped in yet, they don't get a vote, obviously. Uh, but on the last day, because I do have to hold a live class or have a class session, that is required. And that is, I could do a recording only for the last day if that's what you want. And what that does allow is that after midnight, like seconds after midnight, that will be available. The class session will open, and that gives you the entire day to catch up, do the final exam, etc., on that day and get that attendance in. We do have to have an attendance assignment even on the last day. That also gives you the ability that you don't have to sign in at 10 o'clock and be in a session. So how many people would prefer that to have actual physical live class? Uh, See a show of emojis or sign in or etc. Okay, I see
You're
one.
echoing pretty bad.
Okay, hold on. Let me check to see if there's a mic on somewhere. Okay, give me a second. I am going to see what's going on here.
Your audio is fine on my end.
Okay, everybody else, they okay? I'm not getting a lot of
All good.
feedback from people.
Echo.
Okay,
I hear echoing.
okay. Two people here echo. Okay, hold on one moment. Okay, I just switched back to this microphone. Is that any better? Still the same?
Same.
Okay, hold on one moment.
Might just be me and Jordan's computers. Is it anyone else's at different schools?
Okay, how about that? Everybody else okay?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay, good. Okay, it was the way I ended the share there, so. All right. Okay, so anybody who wants the recording as opposed to being in at 10 a.m., let me know, and it's going to be majority rules. Okay, I got one. Anybody else? Okay, so we'll do a live at 10 a.m. as opposed to the recording then. All right. Okay, so we'll do the 10 o'clock live class on the last day, just like normal then. All right. Jenna, I responded back to you. Please see your email. Okay. Okay, so we are in the last 4 days. Last day is Thursday, ends at 10 o'clock. Some people think that it goes to 11:59. At 10 o'clock, what happens? All online classes, the IT department does shut down our classes. I don't have control over that. None of the instructors do. Uh, no extensions. Can't go beyond that. Okay. I can't get you back into the class. I don't have access to that. None of the online instructors do. That's the way it is. Late assignments can't be added in, etc. That's the way it works. So anything that you want included in your final grade has to be completed by 10 o'clock. That includes the final exam. Anything you are in at 10 o'clock, you will start to be booted out. So if you're in the middle of the final exam, for example, and 10 o'clock hits, you will be booted out. Anything you haven't been completed, of course, will show unanswered, and then those questions would be considered wrong or incorrect. Okay, so please plan your time accordingly. Catch up on anything that you are behind. Week 2 is closed off. Those assignments cannot be requested for extensions or extended. That is a Southern Tech policy. You can't go beyond 7 days of the original date. All right. So that being said, let's move forward. I've got almost everybody, if not everybody's um, uh, interviews back. I think Jenna's, I may still be waiting on yours because yours was just done, but pretty much everybody else's, I've got theirs back, and they were incredible. Y'all did incredible. I posted the actual results in your grades. So if you go in there, you will see uh, the actual file there. You can click on it, you can open it, you can see their actual comments on the sheets. I give you the actual sheet so you can see why you received the grade you did. Highest possible points is 32. So anything taken off, you just take that number divided by 32. That is your grade, okay? So that's how those grades come up. Y'all did incredible. Give yourselves a round of applause. Um, very, very proud of you for all of that. And so some of the things that you put in there in your debrief, you hit right on the money with things that they echoed back in those things. Be very specific. Again, those are very key things, being very specific, uh, being true. One of the things I want to talk to the people doing the interview is you didn't have time to get very, very specific questions about the company as far as in asking questions about the company because you don't know this imaginary company you're going to be talking about in the interview. So I'm going to talk to them and see how that we can bridge that so that you have that comfort level there. Because obviously you can't do research on the company that you don't know about. So that was great feedback there. I appreciate seeing that in there. All right. So let's get to getting if there are no questions. Anybody got questions on anything? Nope, we're good. All right. So let's go to our screen share here. One thing I want to point out, student surveys are open. Click right here on the student survey. It will open up. There's my name there. Check it off there. And of course, you are in here, SLS 110 Haley. Okay, that is your career prep course. Then answer the questions. This is completely anonymous. I will not see who does what or if you do this. This is your chance to be heard, what you thought of the course, what you thought about me. I think there's questions about me. I don't know. Uh, Personally, I have not gone through there and answered those responses as who did what. I don't see those directly. We get kind of a generic report back as to things that we need to improve, etc. Um, Answer honestly. Whenever you're given a chance to do this, answer honestly. Now, some students, this is my chance to get revenge. If that's what you do and that's what you feel like, yes, do that. Okay? Get that off your chest. That's a perfect time to do it. And that may sound weird coming from the person that it might hit, but that's what you need to do. You do you. Okay? Always speak your voice in a productive way. I'm a firm believer in everybody has the right to speak in a productive way. All right. So go through there, answer those questions honestly. This is the way change happens. You always have the right and the ability to make change. You can make change in where you work. You can make change in yourself. You can make change in your community. You are more powerful than you think you are. And you can build that up from within you and you can make a stronger, better you in so many ways. So always take advantage of being able to do that. So the link is here. I'm also going to be emailing that link out as well. Now, those of you that are out there in Fort Myers, your link is different than this link. So when you log into your system, your link will take you to a different page because you're technically in two different colleges. So you have separate links. All right. So we are all the way down here in week 4, the final week. Okay. And I remind you all the way through when everything ends. And it may sound so repetitious that we do this, but you cannot believe it is always the person who does not do the assignments, the person who does not respond to emails, the person who does not respond to text that shows up in the campus and says, I never knew when the classes ended. I never got emails. I never got texts, etc. on anything. So this is why we have to repeat this. And I'm so sorry for all the people who do respond to the emails, who do respond to the text, who do everything, because unfortunately, that's why we have to repeat things all over. So we got a couple of interesting things here. The first one I want to talk about, and again, you can finish these assignments early to help alleviate some of the stress. So you can jump ahead. Uh, but this professional ethics scenario sounds kind of spooky. Okay. But there's ethics. This is your behavior in a group or business environment. Okay. This is the rules that everybody is expected to follow while you're there. So there's a video that goes along with this, and you're supposed to define 3 of these that are in there. Okay. And how do you think they make a positive impact? All right. So watch the video, click on reply, boom, there you're done. Okay. Now we have a short week this week. Okay. So it's a good thing you're online and listening. This is a short week. Only one post required this week. Okay. Only one post required this week. So you don't have to reply to another one because it is a short week. I believe in the human factor and human learning, and I also believe in human timelines. Okay, now, while you're in there, another easy time-wise one to throw in is this leadership in action. Now, you've been asked to talk to somebody in a management position. Now we want you to take on the role of that person. Okay, so there's 2 scenarios in here, and you need to respond to both of them. Okay, the first one here, uh, you're a manager and the person comes in slamming a door and they're disrespectful. You're going to watch this video and you're going to tell how you would discipline this employee. How strong, how soft, how would you handle this? Okay. And the second one, you're still the manager, remember? And you're close to one of the employees. Think about them. Is this your best friend? Everyone knows it and they think it's favoritism. How do you handle this? Remember, you're supposed to treat everybody the same. All right. Think about when you've been in a situation and somebody's treated better than you because the person in charge likes them better. Discuss both. So give your answers. You do that by uh, coming down there and clicking start assignment. Click that text entry. Write those in. Okay. Very quick answers. Tell us how you would do it. The responses have been incredible because some people took advantage of these assignments being open since Friday. Remember, I opened these early since Friday. So some people have already done most of these assignments already. They took advantage of those extra days. Now, this one, the interview results, this is where you put your responses to that other person you interviewed. Remember, you talk to somebody in a management position. Don't forget to list their name, okay? You listed their name and where they work. Don't forget to put that in your reply, okay? Not just here's something that I may have pulled out of an AI chat box, okay? I run these, okay? I know more than one person did a chat bot last time. Okay. And I saw that and I let it go. And I made note of it. Don't do that. If you think that that's what's going to get you ahead in life, taking those little steps in there to kind of cheat the system, I'm going to let that karma catch up to you because somebody's going to do something to cheat the system to get ahead of you. And you're going to find out what it's like to be cheated by somebody else. Your work is better than anything something else can create. Just talk to somebody, find out the real deal, put it down. Okay? If I believe in you, ask yourself, why can't you believe and trust in yourself? All right? So put that in there. Then your final project. Okay? Now remember, you've done goals in week 1 and week 3. Your final project. Make sure you follow this template plan. Okay? If you do not use the physical form here, duplicate it in your answer. Okay, you're getting points for this form because we are getting such a horrible set of messes as a reply. Your long-term goals. What other skills and knowledge will you need, and list your personal set. Okay, what skills do you have? This is on your resume. You have your resume, list your skills right there. Any other things you need? What about training? What other certifications? What additional training do you want to? And then your short-term goals down at the bottom. Boom, boom, boom. And it will be done. All right. Any questions on those assignments for the week? I'm giving those to you so that you have time to plan your time. Everybody good? Yes, yes. Everybody's good? Wake up. I know it's Monday. We'll move on when I can see those responses. All right. I saw a couple of them.
All good.
All right. Okay. So let me get over here. Whoops, I lost my cursor there. There we go. Had to catch up on the different screens here. Let me move this one out of the way. Here we go. So this is a big thing. We're going to talk about your first day on the job, and I want to talk about this because this is a big thing when people start work. Whoops. Let me go back here. This here, imposter syndrome. Has anybody heard of imposter syndrome? Anybody heard of that? So what imposter syndrome is, for those that don't know, you feel like you don't belong there. Do I really have the skills to be here? I'm worried that they're going to ask me things I don't know. I don't have everything that I should. So this is what you feel like. You feel like this is all I know. Everybody else knows all of this information out here. They know all of this, and I just know this little bit. Okay? In reality, you know this area here, which means you know some of everything they know. But that means they know just a little bit of what you know. There's a sharing of information, a sharing of data. That means you need everyone, okay? Everyone. It's a team effort. There's a reason why companies are not one person. They put you in teams. You need everybody and they need you. If you think you're going to go in there and do everything on your own, you're wrong. You think you know it all? You're wrong. They think they know it all. They're wrong. You share information every day, every place. Okay? This is a huge thing. It's a great fear that people have that very first day, that very first week, that very first job. I don't know if I can do it. And the answer is yes, you can. You have the information, you have the knowledge, and they want you. They need you, and you need them as well. So I want you to feel good about everything you do and know if you're experiencing this imposter syndrome, it goes through the majority of the people's brains every single time they take on a job. You're not alone. All right? Everybody got that? You are not alone to feel this way. Every time somebody takes on a new job, every time they move up, this goes through their brains. All right. So we're going to talk about your first day on the job. Typical first day. How many people hate that first day? I hate that first day. Hate it, hate it. It's very stressful. Yep. I'd rather be at home on the couch. We're going to talk about performance evaluations because there's a huge misconception about evaluations. People get this wrong on the final exam all the time as to what happens in an evaluation because those evaluations are different in a career than a regular job. And we're going to talk about ways to be safe and updating your professional network. Okay, so you're going to have different jobs. You're going to have this I-9 form, a W-4 form, and benefits. Okay, now I want you to pay attention about what happens with these forms, okay? So this I-9 form, this is your identity, okay? So this is your identity. And this is going to become very crucial, apparently, underneath the new reforms that are going to be happening within the next 4 years here, okay? It's your authorization to work in the United States. It must be completed and signed in the presence of human resources, okay? So a human resources representative must witness you signing this. Has everybody got that? You can't take this home and sign this. You can't have go into another room by yourself and sign. You have to be witness signing this, okay? And you have to have valid identification. Has everybody got that? This is critical to be able to work there. You have to be witness signing this, and you have to have identification. No jokes, okay? Now, W-4, this is your tax information, okay? Your withholding. Now, what determines your deductions? Everybody's going to tell you, oh, put a 1, put a 2, put a this. It is your marital status and number of dependents, okay? So there's a little formula on this sheet that tells you, put 1 for you, put 1 if you're married, put this many for this and this and this, and then you add it up. That's the number, okay? People will tell you to put a certain number so you get a big refund at the end of the year. Here's the deal. Ideally, you don't want a big refund. You don't want to pay either. You want as close to zero as possible. Not paying, not getting back. The reason why you
Sorry,
do
you're
not
echoing.
gain. Hello?
You're echoing.
Is everybody getting an echo? Okay. Matthew's getting an echo. I'm sorry, I don't know what's causing that. Are you still getting it? Matthew's?
Yes.
Okay.
It's all right though. It's bearable.
Okay. So you want as close to zero as possible. And the reason being is you do not get interest on that money if the government holds it. So the closer you get to zero, the more money in your pocket in your paycheck. Okay, so that's the reason why you want that as close to 0. Okay, now you do you. So if you prefer a big refund, which when I was younger, that's what I wanted. So I kind of use it like a little bit of a savings account, but that's what the W-4 form is. The benefits form, that's your insurance, your dental, things like that. Now that you can take home, you may have a waiting period for those to go into effect. All right. Now, okay, I hear someone's microphone on. Hold on. That may be where we're getting some echo here. Okay. Did that fix the echo? I found one microphone on.
Sound all right.
Okay. Since I found one microphone that was still on. All right. Okay. So let me go back here. Okay, we did that. So be on time. And that first day, even though you may be scared, nervous, whatever, that's normal. Try to be enthusiastic. This is where you wanted to be. Have a smile, but don't look like the Cheshire cat. Don't look like you just, did something evil, Use your normal smile. And now I know some people have what we call resting bee face. Try to be as pleasant looking as possible. You're greeting people. You want them to kind of, think that you're happy to be there. Be a positive person, okay? Let them know that you're excited to be there. You want to be an asset. And this, if you do not know something, ask. Because if you don't, then they're going to assume that you know it and they expect you to be able to do it. All right? Now, if you have to work remote, because this is becoming very common. I know people who work for GE who do all kinds of things for that. I know people who work at the port, yada, yada, things like this. Sometimes they want you to work partially from home for different reasons, etc., or they want you to work in remote areas. Make sure when you're having to do like your paperwork and stuff for projects, anything like that, because they'll want you to mark up your time that you spent, things like you create a dedicated workspace. Even if it's just clearing off a spot on your table, don't try to work on a couch with a dog jumping on you, things like that. Make sure you create a space to do that. If you have to do onboarding sessions, that's where you're having to watch videos, things like this, as to how you do your safety, how you do this, and that. Pay attention. They're boring. Nobody likes to do them. Nobody wants to do them. But here's the thing. You're responsible for all the content in those if you pay attention or not. Okay? So that means if something goes wrong, that can affect your workman's comp. It can affect your disability pay, etc. You are responsible if you pay attention or not. Make sure you have a routine. Communicate. Okay? There are people in this class I have sent email, text, reply, please respond, please respond, please respond. I'm like a Pac-Man walking around in a maze and there's just ghosts around me. You're an adult. How old are you? And I'm just not going to talk. I'm just not going to talk. I'm just not going to talk. It's time to grow up. Communicate. Even if it's something you don't want to talk about, you talk about it. The problem does not go away. If they need to ask you something, talk about it. Get it out of the way. It's much better. This is how you get through life and everything. Communicate effectively. No matter how bad it is, it never gets better if you don't communicate. So we can get through everything together. No matter who it is, where it is, what it is. Communication is key. Written, oral, everything. We can do it together. It can be scary if you're not a person who likes to communicate, but the only way you can get through that is to start. Okay? And this, take care of the physical and the mental health both. That is something that everybody needs to think about. If you don't take care of yourself, your body is going to take care of it. And what I mean by that is your body will break down, and so will your brain, and force you to take a break. Okay? So, and if you think you need to take a break or you need help, get help. That's not a joke ever. That is true. Mental health and physical health are imperative to keeping you well. And that is more important than any job, any school, anything, anywhere. We want you around forever. All right? Now, new hire training. You may be part of a group if more than one person's hired at the same time. You may even be working already on your job for 1 or 2 weeks, and then you have to go through your training. Okay? They may bring in everybody at one time, or it could be one-on-one. They may have you mentor with somebody. They may have you ride around in a truck with somebody, etc. Make sure you take notes in a way that you understand them. I've trained people, they've taken page after note of notes, and then they don't understand their own notes. Don't write things down that you don't understand. Okay? Write it in a way you will understand it. Okay? You might take a tour of the facility. I always tell people, make sure you know where the bathroom is. You may need to use the bathroom, and you may need to go in there just to scream. Anybody ever get overwhelmed on your first day of the job and you just want to go in the bathroom, close the stall door, and just breathe? You just need a break. You need to breathe. Sometimes you can be overwhelmed by all that's thrown at you. Okay? So, things you can ask: what hours am I supposed to work? Who do I call in case of an emergency? Computers, how do I use them? Do I need to use them? How do I log in? Human resources, what happens if I'm sick? How do I call in? Request time off? A lot of these things people thought they should ask at the interview. No, this is where you ask them. What time can I get in the building? Lunch breaks. Is there a break room? You know, what do I do about clocking in and out? Uh, Things like that. If I'm working on a long project that goes for weeks, do people check in with me? This, update your networks. Let people know, hey, I'm now working here, yada, yada. But you're still open for other jobs. People go, oh, I got a new job. I'm no longer looking. Wrong. You're always looking. I'm making $40 an hour. I don't need to look for another job. Well, gee, that's a shame. I've got a job for here that's $70 an hour, but you're no longer looking. You're always looking for your next job. Your resume is always updated as soon as you get your job. Update your resume so that if something better comes along, boom, you've got that. Everybody understand that resume gets updated as soon as you take your new job, so you're ready for your next one. This is a never-ending process. You're ready. Do you think that business is going to sit still and go, oh, we've got all our employees hired, we're never looking for another employee? No, they're always looking for the next best thing. You are your business. Okay, now pay attention. Performance evaluation. It's a process designed to evaluate your employees' work and offer productive feedback. Okay, they will use an evaluation form. Okay, evaluations a lot of times are either 6-month or annual. And it's not just to tell you about your work, but it is also a way for them to communicate how much they appreciate you, etc. But now it's very much becoming how well you work with others. How well you fit in with your team. Because you might be doing your job well, but if you're not fitting in with the team, now we got a problem. Because that team has to work well together, and if you don't work well with them, you could be on your way out. So they're going to talk to you about how you can work better with that team. Okay? Now, etiquette. How many people know folks who pick up that cell phone and they shout into the microphone instead of putting that phone up to they got to shout. Okay, we get it. You have a cell phone. Goody, goody. Hooray for you. Put it up to your face. Nobody wants to hear your conversation. Okay? Quit being messy. Nobody likes a messy person. All right? Keep your voice low on the phone. Use headphones if you're listening to music, if you're allowed. You might not be allowed to do it. It's very dangerous in some things. You don't want to be carrying a lot of metal around when you're welding or when you're working with electric, things like that. Yeah, you can have arcing, you can electrocute yourself, things like that. You can't hear something is coming at you. Turn off or silence all your digital devices. Make sure your area is clean. You leave things dirty, something can arc, cause a fire, boom. Keep all your personal items in a drawer or closet. Nobody wants to see your stuff. Big whoop, you got stuff. Nobody cares, okay? It's not a look at how much stuff I have. Keep it at home. Bring people over, show them your stuff. Don't show it at work. Food and drinks, you might not be able to have it around, okay? In animal care, it can be a magnet to get your face eaten off, okay? It can also be a magnet for something to digest something that now your work has to fish out of something's stomach. Okay, be very careful what you have where you have and make sure it's allowable. Easy cheesy. Safety. Falling hazards. We like to watch them on TikTok. How many people love to watch people fall on TikTok? I do. It's cruel, it's horrible, makes me laugh. Until I do it, I fall all the time. I'm klutzy, and that I would make hilarious fall videos, okay? But we got to be careful because that is the most common accident, okay? Most common. And it's always our fault. We create hazards, okay? One of the most common, people open drawers and they leave them open. So somebody comes around the corner and they trip over the open drawer. Okay, do not stand on a chair or box to reach an object. Some of us aren't tall. I'm not tall. Get a ladder, okay? And don't stand on the very top of the ladder. That's not a rung for you to stand on. Make sure cords, rugs, things are clean and they're not out where people can trip over them. This one here, okay, don't be a macho man. Don't bend over to pick up heavy things. Lift from the knees, okay? When you start to get as young as I am, you're going to appreciate if you're doing proper lifting techniques. It's amazing how many people go to the gym, lift, 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 and then when they get on the job, they bend over to pick up things. Don't lift properly at the gym and then go to work and lift improperly. Put things on carts, trolleys, dollies, things like that to move things around. No one cares if you're a macho man, all right? Or woman. Trust me, there's a lot of women out there that can lift a lot more than you and better than you as well. Okay? Material storage. Now, material storage is not just making sure you don't put two chemicals together that are bad, but it's also putting things up on shelves that shouldn't be there, stacking too much, and things can fall on top of people. That's a bad thing too. So remember, those are also material storage hazards. So think about that when you're putting things away, that you don't create a hazard for somebody else to go get something, and now that becomes an issue. In the welding area, this is a big problem with rods, metal rods, things like that. Somebody goes to pull one out, now all those rods fall, and they can seriously injure or even possibly kill somebody. And some people think, that's funny, they all fell. No, it's not. Okay, You get a write-up and possibly lose your job for doing that. Yeah, that's real funny. Explain that to your people at home. Yeah, I thought this would be funny and now I'm unemployed. Nobody wants to deal with workman's comp. You don't want to deal with it, and your job certainly doesn't. Now, this one cracks me up because it's true, but we don't follow it. This is called ergonomics. Ergonomics is what you do to make sure you're in line. And this is an example of what ergonomics is. Your eyes go straight, you're straight this way, you're straight this way, slight bend here, and you have a footrest. This is what keeps your body in alignment. So ergonomics, your job typically does things like this to make sure that you are kept safe. And you may not realize it. You have proper chairs or you have this. Me, I kind of look like the letter O sitting at my chair. I kind of bend over. I have my screens not necessarily in the proper place. Where I'm at right now, I actually have them in the right spots. But yeah, look at how you sit, where you sit, and how you stand. Consider standing, bringing things up to you instead of bending over. Now, this is not always the case depending on how you're working, but try to understand your body and placement of it and prevent as many injuries as possible. All right, everybody got that? So there's a lot of different information to think about on that first day. Now, for your question, I want to think you to think about what is your first day anxiety? Your biggest one. We all go through it that first day. What is your biggest first day anxiety? When you go there, what's the thing that you think about the most or worry the most, etc.? We all have a different item that bothers us. Every one of us. So think about that. Any questions? We're all good?
All good, sir.
All right. That's what I want to hear. And that's it for today. And we will see you tomorrow. Y'all have a great day and 3 more days after today.
Mr. Haley,
Yes.
this is Stein. I was having technical difficulties with my computer from the beginning of class. It wouldn't let me log on. My teacher, she was supposed to be right behind me. She just walked out, but she just wanted to let me inform me because I wasn't able to log in for like 25 minutes. I was watching it on my phone.
That's quite all right. That's quite all right. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Perfect.
And can you one more time tell me the daily question, what it was? I'm pretty sure I got it, but just to
Let me pull
verify
it up here. Let me pull it up here. One moment. Okay, can you see that?
Yes, sir. What is your biggest first day anxiety?
There
Okay,
you
I will
go.
explain that to you in detail.
That's always a fun one. I've
Mhm.
had many of those. All right. So we will see y'all tomorrow, Tuesday, 10 o'clock.